I'm sorry I had to take my birthday week off. I had to take it off. I had to relax. I had to take it off. Truth is, my thing on my car, my holder that I speak from, it actually broke a couple of days before my birthday, and I tried to order a new one because y'all know I was going to go live for my birthday, but I didn't because it broke, and that's that story. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that, although I am. I'm here to talk about the fact that it's October. It's almost a year since October 7th, and Israel is on to newer things, from Hamas to Hezbollah, and the annexation of Lebanon. And we got to talk about this, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's so much. I've missed a lot of news in the last week. You know, rest in peace, John Amos. Rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo. Oh, that hurt my spirit, man. That one hurt my spirit. 58 years old, brain cancer. You know, I wanted to do a show on does everybody in NBA have to commit to some kind of demonic blood covenant, because the way that these people die, their family members die, somebody's always dying in the league. It's just crazy. But that's not what I came to talk about. I came to talk about Hamas to Hezbollah. I'm trying to figure out the angle of Netanyahu. I'm really trying to figure it out without becoming too speculative. The easy story is that Hezbollah, in a agent, as referred to, of Iran, operates out of Lebanon. And so the invasion of Lebanon on its face is supposed to be an invasion of the Hezbollah forces. Let's call them that. Let's call them the forces of Hezbollah. However, what is also simultaneously taking place, and I was speaking to some of my people on the ground, Dr. Israel, the Hebrew scholar, who's teaching us the Afro-Semitic language of Hebrew, the original Hebrew. He's telling me he's safe. He's gone back and forth to various bomb shelters. And his position, as we speak about it, is also my position. And I kind of concur with him that this is a Western geopolitical agenda to control areas of the Middle East that are now considerably weaker than they used to be in the past. Considerably weaker. And this is why I say this. It took Iran 2 months to fire anything, to throw any darts, any missiles, any ballistic missiles, any drones, to make any response to the leader that was killed. And to Israel literally bombing their consulate. 2 months. And I believe that's not for no reason. I don't know if Iran has the weaponry to wage, at the time at least, to wage a proper war against Israel. And I think they took their time. I think they called on to their allies, whether it be Russia, whether it be India, whether it be China, and they got themselves organized. Well, to take that long to respond is interesting. It's strange to me. I don't know if they have the weaponry. I don't know if they have the wherewithal to do it, which is why I think this has emboldened Netanyahu. And I can't say Israel, the people of Israel. This is a war being waged by the regime of Benjamin Netanyahu. He will go down in infamy for what he is doing in at least the last year of the world, because this is all in the hands of Netanyahu. And Netanyahu is full speed ahead. He's not looking at anybody. He's full speed ahead. And I believe, knowing that he is backed by a mass-producing weapon industry in America that can churn out weapons and churn out bombs at a blink of an eye, and has a president, Biden at the time, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I'm really not that tired. But a president that's on side with providing them everything they need. He's not joking. He's full speed ahead. And so Lebanon has to be next. Has to be next, because the allegation is going to be that Hezbollah is firing rockets into Tel Aviv. They're firing rockets. I heard some in Jerusalem, some in other areas that are either Air Force bases or just places that they must realize they're targeting them specifically. Specific targeting has been happening. And this is what Israel's going to say. And so they have to now say, hey, we've got to go and get Lebanon. These are my 2 points that I would like you to examine with me. Point number 1, Shalom, Zenobia. Point number 1, I think there is a greater agenda to expand the territories of Israel. I think there's a greater agenda to expand the territories of Israel to other areas. I think what they did to Gaza, Lebanon, you're next. And what has been happening in respect to claiming particular countries or particular settlement regions, areas, I think they have no issue in saying we're not just going to invade, we're going to occupy. And so I truly believe that there is a giant agenda to expand the general territory of what is called the nation of Israel. And I think that's what we're going to see with Lebanon. And so that's a major thing to watch. I also believe that Netanyahu truly believes that he is fulfilling biblical prophecy. I think he feels that he is fulfilling biblical prophecy, and that he has the God-given right to do what he is doing to the enemies of Israel. But this is the interesting thing that came up the other day that I saw. I saw various leaders of the Arab League stand and say, we have listened to Netanyahu declare that the Arab nations want Israel to be wiped off the map. We are here to let you know that is not true. We want peace with Israel. We are here to let you know that we want a two-state solution. We are here to let you know that we have set out articles of peace, and that the Israeli officials have not honored or have not been genuine in respect to coming to any modicum of peace, and that they do not want a two-state solution. And here's my next point. They do not. I always told you guys that. I told you guys that from the beginning. They do not want a two-state solution. They do not. The United Nations in September of this year has just allowed or entered in as a full member the state of Palestine, the nation of Palestine, has just been given a seat and become a full member with member rights in the, I believe it's the United Nations. I believe I'm correct. If I'm not correct, somebody can correct me. So we are seeing that there is a worldwide shift. The president of Barbados, or the prime minister of Barbados, female lady, just declared that she has become an ally of Palestine. That Barbados is an ally of Palestine. Period. And they welcomed them to the United Nations as a member state. And so you have this, again, great cloud of biblical prophecy where Israel, and I think Netanyahu specifically, is believing that this is their time, this is their moment. And even though these Arab nations are saying, we want peace, Netanyahu is saying, doesn't look like peace to me. I see your rockets flying into Tel Aviv. Doesn't look like peace to me. Okay, so that is a crazy scenario happening, and you have all people are both sides of this scenario saying that it was October 7th. Everybody disassociates themselves and repudiates October 7th. However, the disproportionate show of force by Israel is unconscionable. That's what you hear from most people. But Netanyahu, his mind is made up. He's saying, "Hey, listen, bro, you're gonna throw rockets at me. I'm coming to your country. I'm knocking on your door." And I said this before. If you go all the way back to October, this has never been about Gaza, and right now it's not even about Lebanon. This is about Iran. And if anyone doesn't want Iran to be a nation, it's Benjamin Netanyahu. That man doesn't want Iran to be a nation because he, in his head, believes that Iran does not want Israel to be a nation. And so this whole thing, it's going to be about Israel. When it comes down to it, it's going to be about Israel and Iran. And they're going to say, when you stop being able to hide behind Hamas, Iran, and when you stop being able to hide behind Hezbollah, Iran, you're going to have to look me in my face to face, and then tell me how do you like me now? And I think truly that's what Netanyahu's end game is, because a war ending is not part of his plan right now. That's not part of his plan whatsoever. He is rearmed. He is rearmed, and the only thing going to slow Benjamin Netanyahu down is who is sitting in the White House. That's it. Who is sitting in the White House? Because as long as they are saying as much as you need, Netanyahu will not stop. Will not stop. And I tell you, Egypt better watch out too. Egypt better watch out too, because when he's finished with Lebanon, it's Egypt he's looking to. All right? You heard it here first. It's Egypt he's going to be looking to, right? Because until Iran steps up and says, "Hey, you want to fight? Let's fight," which I don't believe they ever will. Right? Everybody got nervous. Everybody got nervous when they killed that Iranian official, and Iran said there will be consequences. Everybody was nervous because they know that Iran's a nuclear nation. So is Israel. But these people are not stupid enough to use nuclear weapons in these scenarios. I don't know what hell you're worried about. That's not happening. No one's going to be using a nuclear weapon in that little tiny area. In that little tiny area. It's going to be an international catastrophe to the economic market. All that oil in Iran and neighboring places, nah, nobody's using that. People are just going to go and just bomb the heck out of each other and see who's left. So, I don't know your opinions on it. I just know it's a very dangerous time. It's a very serious time. And it's not a time that you can not actually pay attention to biblical prophecy and things that are taking place at this time in that particular region. I believe there's some demonic cycles that are establishing themselves, and that ultimately will have to be broken. And that's what I think about that. All right. So, thank you very much for those who did wish me happy birthday. I apologize again. Getting back online here has just been me and getting my logistics organized, but everything's organized now. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. This is Del K. Brereton, and this is The Real Spiel.